What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. Got some fun stuff going on today. We're going to be working on Jane Czar. I'll tell you a little bit about that story, how we got to that point, why we're painting Jane Czar in our Eldar Rangers, the saga that I've been dealing with the last little while. And yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty chill day today. I've been, hope everyone else is well. Let me know you guys are alive and well, what's been going on, but I'm going to kind of take you through some stuff I've been working on, kind of what's been up with me, and then just adding usual chat and hang out. So get into it. Had a good week so far. It's been gorgeous here in Vancouver. But awesome. And I have not taken advantage, which is a bit of a shame. Definitely feel like I should be outside more. Feel slightly guilty. Let's jump into our paint cam. Guys, through stuff that I've. Right, so. All right, so we're gonna be working on Jane Czar today. To be honest, I needed a break from the Rangers. As the show title teases, I guess the Rangers were quite a difficult, not difficult as far as like technically difficult, but I spent a lot of time on the one Ranger captain, which I'll show you guys in a sec, and it really like, I don't want to say discouraged me, but it definitely felt like it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth that like I was really excited to paint this unit. I had this really cool idea of like what I wanted to do and how I wanted to execute it, and then I wasn't able to. In the end, I wasn't able to do that. Like, and the thing is, like, I thought about this, and I think this is like a really important thing to kind of take away as a painter, is that oftentimes like your vision of like what you want and your final result are gonna be different, right? And that's part of the artistic process. That's part of the painting process. I think in my specific case, I think what I was trying to do was doomed to fail from the get-go, because I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted going into it. And so for me, the original thought with the Rangers was to do kind of like a camo pattern. We had talked about it on stream a few times where like I wanted to do something that was like a bit more alien in nature. I didn't want to just do like, I don't want to just do like jungle camo, right? Or something like that. So I really wanted to do something that was a bit more matching of the Eldar. And I feel like in the end, like I didn't achieve that, because I gave up essentially, right? Which sounds awful, and like obviously never want to give up. But for me, it was more important for me to feel like I was progressing. So rather than get stuck on this model and have it completely derail like my entire painting kind of process, I decided that it'd be better to I decided it'd be a lot better to just push on. And that's something that like I would definitely recommend to you, is if you're stuck on something, if you're finding something like a bit like discouraging, I guess, is to rather than get stuck on it, just get it done and move on. And if I need to, I can come back to it. That's a great thing about painting, is I'm not doing this painting kind of like forever, but I can definitely come back to it. Anyway, so that was kind of my I guess there we go. So that's been my struggle with these. So anyway, so I'll show you guys what I accomplished. and you guys can be the judge. So here is the Eldar Ranger. So the goal with this, and I'll show you just kind of one of my regular Dire Avengers, just kind of a side-by-side to kind of get a sense of the color choice, the saturation, and the darkness. So ultimately what I wanted with these guys was I wanted them to feel like they still fit in the army. So you still got that really green armor, but I wanted a much more muted and kind of reserved scheme. So Dan, they're not, because I'm still waiting on my 28mm bases. This is a 32mm. It's just glued on for painting. I'm gonna rip it off once so I'm waiting for resin bases, these ones, but in 28mm. They haven't arrived yet, so they will be on 28s though. This is a 32 right now, just for painting purposes. So I wanted to keep some of the same themes. So purple hair, you can see that. Blue face, see that. Obviously the armor, red gems on the weapons. And then obviously I went with a much darker tone on the fabric of the cloak. On the front, the front is actually a lot brighter, so it's a little bit more saturated. The back is a lot darker. So I wanted it to have like a bit of a two-tone. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's definitely two tones. It's definitely a little bit lot lighter on the inside than it is on the outside. And then just kind of very reserved with like my leathers, my woods, or my leathers, my materials. Again, just trying to keep some of the same brightness, but really toning it down because it is the Ranger supposed to be stealth. Obviously in the end, I didn't do any sort of pattern on the back. And I'm still reserving the right to go back and add some runes, or to do something kind of radical. But for now, I'm gonna call him done. And that's kind of like what I was mentioning, which is like, I could have sat there and gotten like really frustrated with this and tried and just kind of really kind of like hit that wall with these guys. But I wanted to get going, and I don't want I want this army to be done at some point. I'd love to spend, 10-20 hours on freehanding some cool designs on each cloak, and really learning, figuring out exactly what works and what doesn't work. I think what I need to do maybe in the future is sit down with some paper and some pen and draw out like some patterns, so that I can feel a little bit more like, I guess, sit down with some paper and pen and actually like do like a little bit more of a planning, I guess. That I think that was a big part that maybe threw me off. I'm definitely going to do things fairly the same. Yeah, I want the army to look fairly uniform. The Aspect Warriors have enough variation in their design, and I've never really liked the idea of like green striking scorpions and black dark reapers. I'm not a huge fan of that. So yeah, definitely the army will feel unified. I'm not going to be doing definitely not going to be doing that. So anyways, so I decided as a kind of a palate cleanser to kind of get me back to feel excited and motivated again, is rather than kind of banging my head on the other 4 scouts, which are ready to go and ready to get painted, I thought I would quickly do this Jain Zar, which was supposed to be the next model I was going to paint anyways. But for me, the motivation in painting is like really important. When I'm motivated, I can paint a lot and very quickly. When I'm unmotivated, it's like making me very hard to like want to do anything. So for me, this is like a motivational tool, is like paint something that excites you, and then go back and paint something that like maybe is not as exciting. So that's what I'm gonna do because I can. So here we go. And I've airbrushed this guy. Basically just my base color. You can see I kind of hand sculpted the base. It's kind of hard to tell right now because it's to make it a bit of tile base to match the rest of the army, and I've incorporated Jane Czar's already their runic base. Now for this one specifically, I want to make sure there's a really good distinction between, so like Jane Czar kind of has, she has like her armor plates, and then she has armor, this like under color thing here. If you look at like the Guardians, or for instance like the rest of the Eldar guys, it's all kind of one color and all kind of highlighted very much the same. There's not really a distinction between say the pants here and the armor. It's all kind of one. For this, I definitely want to have, for Jane Czar, I definitely want to have more distinction between the in-between, like the bodysuit, I guess is what you'd call, and the actual armor plates, so that the armor plates really, really are accentuated from that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm starting with, it's not that dark, this color. You can see but it's pretty dark compared to the base color. So this is basically my pale green and some jade. And what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to, I want to basically paint through all of the bodysuit in this kind of dark green, so to speak. And what I've done is I've got it super thin here. I almost want to do a wash, and for that I am going to add a little bit of medium. I'm so low on lemon medium, I really gotta go to the store. Hey guys, you just missed it. So if you guys tune in late, you guys missed all my story time. So so here, basically what I want to do is I want to paint this bodysuit this kind of darker color. But I want to go quite light with the I guess quite light with the armor plates, my standard usual style. And so I got to make sure that the in-between is really dark. Now this is really nice too, because this step here I would do anyways, which is essentially I'm kind of pre-shading all of in between all the plates. But I think what I'm going to do is, rather than highlight this up to kind of that yellowish color, I'm going to kind of keep this in that kind of green sphere. And go really bright with everything else. Aura Splendid, I'm not doing any specific craft world, I'm doing my own custom craft world. This is not a craft world you'll find in the Tales of the Eldar. So just going through really quick and kind of painting my really dark green, the cracks, and in the under areas. I was almost tempted to paint this with the hair separate because this hair is kind of in the way, but my laziness and kind of took over. Slightly regretting right now. That's okay. So I'm not doing like a full heavy wash here. I'm being very deliberate kind of where I leave this color. Yeah, but other than that, not much going on. I'm still not working right now, which has been nice. Still dealing with some I guess I can't really talk about it. Just dealing with some shit, I guess. And I'm planning to travel at some point over the summer. So not sure when I'm going to be going, but there'll probably be a stream break at some point for extended period. And then I got Elden Ring, obviously, so my streaming might be a bit inconsistent next week. Not that it normally isn't. But anyone else planning to pick up Elden Ring? Or gonna play Elden Ring? I got it all preloaded on Steam. I'm kind of sad though because it basically goes live tomorrow at the same time that I do raiding with my Final Fantasy guild. So I'm gonna have to be raiding for like 3 hours and probably won't get to play it till like a little bit after. I didn't succeed though. Like I said I was gonna try to beat Sekiro. Finish Sekiro before Elden Ring came out, and I very much failed on that because I haven't even. I installed Sekiro, I reinstalled Sekiro, but I didn't actually play it. Like 1 second. Been too busy with other stuff. The nice thing about these little models is like it is mostly just armor, right? So like once the armor's done, this model's like there's so little else to do, right? It's not like a hugely complex. It's not like this is why I kind of really like painting single models like this. They just feel like they get done really quick, and that there's like not too much to them, which can be really encouraging when you're painting like these models, because it feels like you can get this done pretty quick, and then that feels really good. Oh hey Eric, how's it going? Hi. I do want to have her face. I want to do something a little bit special for her face, so I think I'm gonna leave it for now because I want to get the armor done, and then I want her face to really feel like, I guess, the center of the model. And so I'm gonna hold off doing too much work on the face at the start here until I'm happy with kind of the armor and stuff, and then I'll go back and kind of figure it out, I guess. But I really want the face to feel like the central focus when we get there. What are you guys working on? Let me know in chat. And I'm also just painting in some of the this light wash in the areas where I think it's gonna be like there's a little bit of detail in the armor, and I want some definition there. I'm gonna do the blade obviously in the kind of fire theme that I did for my warlock, so it's gonna be kind of glowing red. I think the hair is gonna go into that purple that I've done for the rest of the army. I think the face I might do that blue, like same blue face as the rest of the army. And then the ribbon here is probably going to be like gray, like the normal gray. Keep it a little bit muted. The thing I don't like about this ribbon, I actually almost thought about cutting it off. I really don't like it, to be honest. Or just I might shorten it still, like just do it, like cut it off here or something. For me, it distracts from the model, and it kind of feels like yeah, I don't know, like imagine it kind of without that. Yeah, I hear you, man. What do you guys think of this ribbon? Do you guys think I should leave it? I'm very much like a little bit I'm very picky when it comes to like, yeah. I'm very picky when it comes to like these kinds of details. These kinds of like extra, like especially when it's like stuff that's like just like extra parts of the model that make it look busy. For me, it kind of distracts the model. Okay, give that the sector dry, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go. I'm just thinking now. Do I want to go even darker on the innards at this point? I think I might. So I'm gonna make a little bit more of this wash. And then I think I'm gonna add to it just a touch of the maybe blue-black. I've been really trying to limit my palette on this army as far as like paints. So everything is like using yeah, okay, so that's better. So I created a little bit of a darker version of this, but I'm gonna go really thin with this. I'm also just gonna add a drop of airbrush thinner to it. That's gonna help break the surface tension of the liquid, and that'll help it kind of get to those little cracks a little bit better. So going with that. Paint her nice butt. So here I'm really emphasizing just kind of shading it dark back one more before I let it back up. And I'm gonna do this inner bodysuit basically as the first thing because it's kind of like the lowest thing. And once I get that done, there's less chance of me kind of fucking up other areas. Yeah, I'll take it. Mine'll be a game time decision. I'll probably paint it first and then see how I like it. And I'll probably Google to see what some people that maybe have cut theirs off looks like. So there's probably for some people that probably some people that have cut theirs off, so I'll check to see kind of what the internet consensus is, so to speak. I'm getting excited though, like obviously the rules are starting to, the Eldar Codex goes on pre-order next week. I'm not gonna probably be buying, I'm probably not gonna buy the Codex, to be honest, guys. Like I'm just really against, I'm so opposed to the Games Workshop rules and Codex model right now that I'm very heavily, I'll probably buy the cards because I find the cards handy, but there's a very, very good chance that I just skip the Codex completely and just go full digital with it. Like why would I like, that book's gonna be outdated in like, I don't know, very quickly, right? So for me it's like and here's the thing, like, I'm like, to be honest, the only reason I'm tempted to buy the Codex is like for the art and for the pictures more for anything, because like I don't own an Eldar Codex from any previous edition, so like I don't have like a lot of reference stuff for like craft worlds and runes and like all that stuff. I'm not planning to buy it because I want the rules, which is kind of like sad and scary, crazy when you think about it. Like if I buy it, it'll strictly be for me having some like artistic reference material, which says a lot about like my commitment to like Games Workshop's like rules, so to speak. I just know they're gonna get nerfed so quickly. And they're gonna get, those rules are gonna get changed, and the Codex is gonna be obsolete anyways. And like I never really bring it to places for tournaments and stuff. I don't think a lot of people do these days anyways. So for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to buy it just for rules. So if, it would almost be a purchase. yeah, so I'm not planning to buy it. I'm curious what you guys think. Okay, so that's that. I'm happy with that darker color. Let's see here. Give that a sec to dry. I'm not really down with yeah, but to be honest, like what I'll do is here's the thing, Leo, like I'm not gonna be playing this army like week 1, right? I'm not even gonna be building army lists week 1. Well, look, it's not even about the cost, right? My point is it feels like a waste of my money. Like, and whether it's $50 it would feel like a waste, if it was $30 it'd feel like a waste, if it was $70 it would feel like a waste. Because the book as a rule book is not going to get used. I will build my lists in Battlescribe, and I will read my stratagems. I will get a digital copy of the book, and I will read it digitally, right? So for me, it's like not even about like, I guess, yeah. All right, let's go into. I'm starting with some Jade from Proacral. That's gonna be my first highlight color. Guys, so it feels so dumb. This I had this like really nice like Rosemary & Co. And I really stupidly, don't ever do this, I was trying to glue something yesterday, but I needed to get like a little toothpick of glue. So instead of putting it on like a gross old palette like this, I put like this. I put a dot of super glue on my wet palette because I don't want to get my old palette out. And so and then I use the toothpick to take some of the glue and like put it on like a very small part of a bottle. But then I forgot that it was super glue, and I looked at it when I was painting like 20 minutes later, and I thought it was water. And I literally stuck this like brand new. I thought it was like a drop of water, so I was trying to wet my brush a little bit on my palette to get a little bit of water. So I like stuck my brand new brush in this like pile of super glue on my fucking palette, thinking it was water, and just almost completely destroyed the brush. I had to like cut off like a bunch of the hairs and like scrape with the hairs, and it's just not the same anymore. And so sadly, I'm gonna have to get another brush to use for the majority of this product. This one looks pretty good. Felt really stupid. Like you can see the difference in the lengths. The difference in the lengths of the bristles. The one on the right is a good one. The one on the left is the one I cut down. So it's like super stubby now. Like missing like it's missing the point basically, because the point was like gunked in glue. And I tried to save it, and as I was like trying to clean it out, it just like all the hairs just started to come. Let's see. If I don't cut these little ribbons off, they're definitely gonna get broken at some point. I've already put enough pressure on them to break them like a few times, I feel. They're kind of in the way. The one thing that I find is really helpful too is like a lot of times this guy here, I'm not going to go a full highlight on the areas I'm doing right now. I'm not going to finish it completely. I'm going to probably take it to like 80%. Hey James, how's it going? I'm probably going to take it to like 80% of where I think I want it. Then I'm going to do the armor and then a few other parts of the model. Then I'm going to go back. And what I like to do that sometimes is because sometimes like when you're trying to figure out like how far to take a highlight, if you over highlight something and then you have to kind of take everything to that level, and otherwise it's going to feel like, because you want all your highlights, especially in the same areas, to feel like they're equally bright, so to speak. And so for this model, because I don't really know how far I want to take the green, I'm going to kind of do like almost like a 70% of the highlighting, I think, and then I'm going to come back, and then once I've determined, once I get a better idea of like the composition and the final look, then I will go and kind of do any sort of final highlights. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday or Tuesday, Wednesday today. Yeah, so just going in really carefully here. I don't know if that's the right. It's hard too because this model has like very distinct areas, I guess, of armor. But the nice thing about painting like a model like this is it just paints up so quickly, I feel. There's not much surface area in the end. So like even if you're doing a very tedious, like difficult task, it's usually done pretty quickly. It doesn't eat a whole ton of your time. Yeah, I don't have much going on in my life right now, guys. I've been a little depressed. I think it's like as we get into this sunny weather, you know, it's like the opposite of seasonal depression when you're like a gamer, where it's like it's nice, but like you don't really want to do anything. Yeah, man, do it. Yeah, the hair's gonna be fun, James. I can't wait. I don't really care, Eric. I think the meta will adapt as always, and like their time will come and their time will go. Like it's no different than the Drukhari AdMech phase. Like so I guess there's part of me is sad that like we're back here. Like you would have hoped that those books would have come out and like they would have been just strong enough that like it would have brought balance to like the game in some sense. But instead we got what we got, right? I'm not really even playing though right now, right? So it doesn't really bother me too much. I figure by the time we're playing again, we'll get like another balanced data slate. We'll nerf core again. All those things. And all will be well in the world. Kind of the cycle that we've been going through, so. And I think that's part of the reason I don't want to buy the book, right? Like, the game is in a state right now where, like, every book, I'd imagine, is going to need some sort of balancing and tuning. And I don't want to... I guess I just don't want to perpetuate that quality of stuff, right? I don't want to buy into it. Yeah, I mean, Crisis Suits are good. I'd play Crisis Suits. I'm glad Tower good, you know? Like, it's good for armies to be good for some time. It's really disappointing when an army book comes out, and it sucks. It just feels very like as an army for that a player for that faction, it feels like really like you know, and I think a lot of top players probably know like, hey, the nerfs are coming or whatever, but let them have their fun, let them get excited, let them have their happy time, and hopefully once everything's out, we'll hit that state of equilibrium again a little bit, you know. Everyone wants to ruin the Taos parade before it's even started. Yeah, it's okay, guys. Let them have their fun. It's fun. It's fun to like kick ass at the game, you know. Everyone wants perfect balance all the time, but I think it's nice to have a few times where like things are not balanced. This model on the hair, I hate this kind of style where they're like floating. In my head, I'm like, the problem is this is not a model where I could have like reposed it very easily. The hair is just too like dominant. I just don't like models like this where they have like these kind of flying action poses and like the connection point is so small. Because for me, it's not a matter of if, but like when this is gonna break. You know, I wonder what the balance between pre-nerf Draco and non-rank current release would look like. Yeah, that's a good point. I just think the game right now is like, it's way too killy. I think things just die too fast. Which means like everything is just so destructive. Especially now, like everything's ignoring vulnerable saves. Like there's just so many things that like, well, not everything, but like there's just like too many mechanics that like basically negate your army. And the only army that is not killy is like Custodes, or doesn't die too fast is Custodes. But it's like you get in this kind of arms race where the game developers have to continue to build super killy units to fight super like I wouldn't mind. Imagine like if everything in the game lost like 1 point of AP, right? Just like just blanket wide, right? And we went back to like AP0 bolters and like AP0 chainswords. Now I'm not saying like that's like a good fix, but just like imagine like it would make armor feel more important and it'd make AP feel more important when you had it. Right now it feels like armor and cover are both kind of like, they're kind of like pointless mechanics in a lot of ways because so many things have such high AP that it just like ignores the mechanic. You're paying for 4+, 5+ saves on models. They had to give, you know, they gave Guardians 4+, they gave AdMech 4+, but then stuff just like blows right through it. So it kind of feels like Games Workshop gives you good stats and then they give the other armies good stats to make those good stats feel meaningless. But I think in general, a stat squish would have been nice towards like more defensive stats, less offensive stuff. Slower, and just kind of slow down the killing. But at the same time, you have to balance that around data sheets that are really hard to kill currently. So like you can't have, you can't make things unkillable. So they need to get rid of certain abilities and like things that make units too hard to kill. And then like if you think like Deathwing Terminators or whatever, which are like almost like too hard to kill. So that's just kind of my opinion, I guess. Yeah, like, this is the funny thing. Chaos Marines, because they're so cheap now, and everything is so killy, there's actually a benefit to them because, like, they basically ignore the fact that everything is, like, 2 damage and, like, high AP. Like, it's not really useful against them anymore because, like, they just die so fast anyways, you know what I'm saying? So, like, them being 12 points a model is actually, like, a good thing because you can just spam them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've gone so... things are so killy now that the 2 wound... Like, even 2 wound Chaos Space Marines won't be any good. So, you might as well be 1 wound and cheap as fuck. And just go ham. It kind of seems, almost. Me. Yeah, I agree with you, Eric. But like, I think that was the wrong solution to the problem. Is rather than have things. So like, what I would have done is or here's the thing: if you're gonna have things die fast, there needs to be like more of them and smaller. So like, if you want to play like an MSU game where like every army has like 100 models of say 20 units, so there's 20 units of 5 models, and like, when you choose to shoot a 5-man to a 5-man, you kill the 5-man. Like, it's just, units just die when they get shot at. If we're gonna play it, it's like chess, where it's like it's about trades and sacrifice. That's cool, right? And design a game like that, but you can't then go and like make it so that the killing power is so good that I wipe out your entire army before you even get a chance to do anything. It just kind of removes player agency, and I think that's bad game design. Kind of what I was saying about the railgun. You know, I think a lot of people were complaining, looking at the stats of the railgun and thinking, "Oh, it's so strong, right? It's such a good weapon." I never thought it was like too good. My problem with it was that it removes player agency in the sense that like it's binary. If the railgun hits and wounds, your thing dies, and you get to do nothing about it. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't die, and you've done nothing. So there's no middle ground where it feels like you're chipping away, or you're slowly building up to something, or you're having to make decisions. It's very, very much like one or the other, right? And I think that's bad game design on both ends, because if you're the player getting shot by the railgun, and the railgun hits and wounds and one shots your thing, that sucks. You didn't even get a roll save on it, right? But if you're the Tau player and your railgun misses and does absolutely nothing, that sucks too, because here's your 106 point model that did absolutely nothing. So just that level of swinginess and like that level of like back and forth, I guess. I think that's bad design. I think that's unfun, and I think that's the kind of stuff they really need to like get out of the game. The game should feel a lot more ebb and flow. It should feel like a lot more there should be a lot more decision points. There should be a lot more like choices and agency that the players can make, and less about, you know, binary, this kind of binary dice roll mechanic where it's like, okay, if I hit and wound, you're dead. If not, then like I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not only does it feel bad, but it's like the whole point. Like, here's what. Okay, so think about it. What is the point of like? Why did they put invulnerable saves in the game, right? So think about it at the core of the game. The reason we have invulnerable saves is because we already have a save mechanic, right? We have normal armor saves, so we already have a save mechanic. Now there are weapons in the game that ignore that save mechanic. So we created invulnerable saves so that even if your weapon ignores that save mechanic, you still have a mechanic to stop the weapon. But now we've created another mechanic to ignore that mechanic. So now we're going to have a rule that says this model can always take saves, even against weapons that don't allow it to take saves. Because now you need a mechanic to ignore the mechanic that lets you ignore the mechanic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just bad. It's bad game design, because the whole point of invulnerable saves, the whole idea, the reason that they're in the game at all, isn't because we want people rolling lots of dice. It's because it was an answer to the idea that there's certain weapons that are so strong that you won't get a save. So we created invulnerable saves as the answer to that. But now you're saying that's that mechanic we want to also ignore. But the whole point of that mechanic to begin with, like just what I would do is take out at that point, just take out invulnerable saves completely, right? Like, why do you even have invulnerable saves? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like, yeah, yeah. It's like they make rules. It's like added complexity to the game, right? So it's like, here's a rule, and we're gonna create a rule. We're gonna create a rule that ignores a rule, and then we're gonna create another rule that makes that rule that ignores the rule ignore the rule. So it's like, okay, cool. So now I'm like, it's like a game of, it's like this freaking Russian dolls, right? It's like ruleception. There's rules within rules, and it's like, okay, now what the next gimmicky thing is going to be. Yeah, as I said, weapons that, yeah, exactly, Leo Crusher. Like, they could have just easily had regular armor saves and feel no pains, and got rid of invulnerables completely. All right, so that's all the highlighting I'm going to do on the underbody, I guess. Okay, good night, bud. It's just, look, and guys, you know, I always complain, and I love complaining, because, well, I don't like complaining. I just like talking about the game and stuff. I don't want the game to feel this way. I don't want it to feel like bad. But it's just really hard to like get away from this kind of design, right? All right, so now we're gonna go in, build the armor. For this, I need a not shitty brush. I destroyed. Try size. Oh. I have a size 0 out already. It's 2-0. Old 0. I need to go through my brushes and throw out the bad ones. That's brand new, size 0, guys. Anyways, I think it's just bad. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get around, man, you came in the right place. So anyways, I'm not too worried about it, like in the grand scheme of things. It'll get fixed. And I guess just like general overall, I'm really just focused on painting a really cool army right now, and being excited to play a nice army that I painted on the tabletop. That's kind of like my #1 focus right now, and not the meta, so to speak. One of the advantages of like having like a big drive for like the hobby is that even if the game's in a shit state, you still feel like there's things to like be excited about. Universal balance though eventually. Not too worried. I haven't played it though. Have you guys? Is it as oppressive as everyone says? This Custodes? Anyone that's played it? Against it? Curious. Yeah, I mean, poor demons, but for a lot of reasons, right? I think the Custodes book is probably just a nail in the a nail in the long coffin of demons. I don't think I don't think demons have been viable for a while. To be honest. What is awesome a demon listed good in any event? Checking to make sure my head's on stream. Let me know if my head ends up in the stream. Really weird painting like this because like I'm kind of keeping the normally I'd have it like a lot closer to my face just to make it like easy for me, but obviously you won't be able to see it. So you kind of develop this like weird like arm's length painting style. Trying to see it kind of come together. I think I need to paint though before I get too wild with the armor. I need to paint this or at least base coat this loincloth because it is kind of in the middle there and it's gonna be really hard to get to and not ruin my armor if I don't. So once I do all the green for the armor here. Alright guys, I'm just trying to not screw this up, so that's why I'm not talking right now, because believe it or not, when you're doing like really fine detail work, I sometimes will hold my breath for a sec. And obviously talking doesn't help either, because it makes me move my hand. Doing like really fine detail work like this, I'll often try to stop talking for a sec so I don't screw it up. No one likes to screw up painting. I'm having to repaint stuff. I don't know why I'm quiet. Nice. Yeah. I just think it's like maybe I think Custodes probably just need some points tweaks. And then maybe a few tweaks on some of the stratagems, like CPs. We're probably back to like a good place. The data sheets are really strong, seems. Good. No, I mean, what I'd like to see deep down is it merged with Chaos Space Marines. I know I'm not going to get that. So, failing that, which will be failed. I think what I'd probably like to see the most is Viable. The problem for me is like, I don't see any version of the demon army where a single faction codex. So like, I'd like to see. Okay, so let me start again. I think it's gonna be hard to build a demon book where a single faction army is good because the factions don't have enough units, or they'd have to make the faction-wide bonuses so strong for a single like pure god attachment that to overcome that, which again I don't necessarily see them doing. So I think for me, where they have to strike that balance is in 3 spots. First, they have to make both god mixed armies and mono faction demon armies viable, right? So it shouldn't feel like if you take, say, an all Slaanesh army or an all Nurgle army, you're at a huge disadvantage. That's going to be just a challenge in and of itself because, as I said, you have to balance a faction bonus in a way where, like, a single Nurgle army is strong enough that it's as good as an undivided army with 4 times as many units and stratagems and all these other options. That's going to be really, really hard. Like, trying to figure out what that balance would look like and trying to like, because you can't do it through points because points obviously have to be the same. So you're going to have to add a bunch of rules in for, say, mono god factions versus split factions to make it viable. And I think that's going to be a very, very hard needle to thread. Almost impossible. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up either with one faction very, very strong versus the others, or you're going to have mixed factions be like the dominant variety, which I think I'm fine with. I'm as much as I love the lore of like the mono faction stuff, you know, I get that when they're fighting in the realm of chaos, and I think there's a lore argument to be made that, like, look, when they're in the realm of chaos, it's Slaanesh versus Nurgle versus Tzeentch versus Khorne. Those are the combatants in the fights. When they're making real space incursions into the universe, whether it's AOS or 40k, it's God's verse. So it's like, hey, dudes, we know we all want to fight eternity in the realm of chaos, so we're gonna fight these monofaction battles. But as soon as we're gonna go pillage and kill the Imperium, we need to put aside our shit. And the only way we're gonna be able to beat fucking Guilliman and his cronies is by like banding together. So I think so that's the first thing I'd like to see is like some semblance of balance between those kind of aspects. Do I think it's gonna happen? No. Second thing I'd like to see is strong rules for bringing them in with Chaos Space Marines factions, both Death Guard, Thousand Sons, and regular Chaos Space Marines. So whether that's summoning, whether that's I don't necessarily want them to only be brought in via summoning. I think summoning is a way that they should be able to be brought in, but I also think there should be strong rules, just like the Harlequins get, where I can say take a patrol of, say, Nurgle demons, or a patrol of Tzeentch demons, or a patrol of Khorne demons in my Death Guard or Thousand Sons or World Leaders army. Like if say I can take a mono god patrol that matches the mark of my god, my general's mark, and if I do that, I'm allowed to take a mono god patrol, and it's gonna not break my faction rules, just like the Harlequins won't break the faction rules for Chaos Space Marines. So that if I run a Death Guard army, I can run a patrol of Nurgle demons. If I run a Thousand Sons army, I can run a patrol of Tzeentch demons. If I run World Leaders, I can run Khorne demons. That makes sense for me thematically, but also feels cool in the tabletop, right? To have like, it feels good thematically, and I also think that's a good rule to kind of implement. That's the second thing. Do I think they're going to do it? Again, you have little faith? Probably not, right? The other thing I'd like them to see is more. I'd like them to really finally do something with the units, like the data sheets themselves for a lot of the demon stuff, Soul Grinders, Khorne chariots, all the chariots, a lot of the fast attack choices, they're just not good, right? So the stars of the demon army have always been the characters and the troops, right? And so I'd like them to really have a strong push to make the non-troop, non-character units viable, so people actually take them. Like Screamers used to be good at one point, right? They've been bad for 2 editions. You know, there's very few. Nurglings have been too good for 2 editions. Demonettes have been ho-hum, but like I'd love to see things like Seekers. I'd love to see things like Blood Crushers. I'd love to see things like, you know, the flies. Like generally, there's like one choice within those slots that's always been good. So I'd really like them to have a very strong push to make those units viable. Those are kind of like my top 3 things, because if they're gonna accomplish one, which is make to each faction viable on its own, then the mix has to be viable as well. Oh, sorry, the data sheets have to be viable. And then the other thing that I'd like to see, the other thing I'd like to do is, like, this is kind of like the biggest thing is, I'd like them to have really strong rules for putting together undivided lists. So, I love Be'lakor. I think he's really cool. Obviously, everyone's loving the build your own Demon Prince simulator in Total War. It would be really cool if you could get a build your own Demon Prince simulator in the Demon Book. I think a lot of people would love that. Where you can like customize, like bring back mutations, bring back various like upgrades, right? That'd be really cool. Tom, have you been playing lots of Total War, or how's that been going? Or have you already given up? So, Pegu, I don't know if that answers your question. That's what I'd like to see from the Dune book, I guess. I think they're all good ideas, to be honest. I mean, I think I should just be on Games Workshop's rules team. They probably pay like shit, though. Well, I know they pay like shit. What's going on here? Figure out. But yeah, I don't have a lot of hopes, to be honest. The way that Games Workshop's, the path they've been going lately with like... Oh, I also like to see the characters, the greater demons, be freaking greater. Like, if like I'm just worried, like, what is every greater demon gonna have ignoring bones? Like, I like the greater demons to not get one-shotted by avatars. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff like that. Which I don't know if they're gonna do. I want them to be greater. I want people to be able to lead their armies with greater demons, and like the greater demon is like freaking scary. Like Avatar levels or like Be'lakor levels. They should all be good in combat too. There's no reason, like the Keeper of Secrets, like the Lord of Change should be like one of the best casters in the game. Yeah, I don't really know the AOS stuff, so I don't want to speak too much on it. I know in the past, like, whenever they give people free stuff, though, it ends up being problematic. That's what you're advocating for units. Ah, I see. Okay. I have to go back and repeat that. I kind of fucked up on the leg here. I painted parts that weren't armor as armor. But I didn't realize it until I painted this left leg. What's the AOS mechanic look like, Pegu? Can you give me a quick synopsis? I'd like to see some new units. I don't want to just see a new character. It'd be cool if we got something like a Runestorm demon, like almost like an undivided demon. Like I hope we get obviously new Harpy models. I think that's one of the only few things that are, or sorry, Fury models. I don't know if they just take the like the ones they made for Warcry or whatever and port them. But new Furies obviously would be cool. I think it's the only undivided demon we have right now. But something like something like that, but like beefed up and then generic, I think would be cool. Like the Runestorm demons are beefy like monsters, so if they could do like a plastic kit like that, where it's like kind of an undivided, just like brute, demon brute, that could be used in like multiple armies, almost like a grotesque stat line. Like a tough infantry model, because they don't really have tough infantry, right? Everything is like very, very weak, T3, kind of 5-up save. So it'd be cool to have like a kind of beefier T4 or 5, like fighting battle line unit for the demons. I'm also really curious if we're gonna get the two Slaaneshi demon chicks. I assume we will. Tekla and Drusilla or whatever their names are. Yeah. Yeah, the thing Ham though, I don't think we're gonna get it. I'd like them to be bigger though, right? The Warcry ones are quite small. I've heard that rumor, James. I don't care, because like I don't know if you guys have played like I don't want Total War 40k. I want Dawn of War 40k. I want original Dawn of War style game, an RTS, or like you know what I'm saying? Total War games are great, but like they don't They don't do it for me anymore. Yeah, I didn't mind Dawn of War 2, to be honest. I never even played Dawn of War 3 because I heard the reviews were so bad. Which is kind of sad because I love Dawn of War. I think I like the squad-based nature of Dawn of War 3, or Dawn of War 2, sorry. I still like the RTS aspects of... Like, if they could take Dawn of War 2, for instance, and scale it up so that it's like... It's a similar style combat where you have your squad based, but like you have a lot more of them and you have other types of units. I think I'd like it more. I really miss things like vehicles and like all the cool stuff you got in Dawn of War 1 and Dawn of War 2. Because Dawn of War 2 is mostly, I think you got a Dreadnought at one point. I could be wrong there, but it's mostly like squad based. It's kind of smaller scale, squad based. So I'd have liked a little bit more, I guess, stuff to play with. Fanning her boobs. Most action I've had in weeks. I'm really like, every time I put some pressure on this, I can feel like bending on the stand. I'm just like, fuck, man. I'm gonna 100%. I'm gonna snap this model off the base. It's gonna happen for sure. Oh, I like this so far. Very rough right now, but I think I'm okay with it. I'm sure it'll come together more when I start highlighting. They always do. Oh, I can buy farmers. Your band. Yeah, I really like, man, I used to play this so much Dawn of War 1. Yeah, Space Marines, obviously. I think Dawn of War 1, a remaster or a remake with like like updated for graphics and then also factions and units. Like that's all. They don't need to do a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying. Go back to what was exciting. Great multiplayer. I used to play a lot of multiplayer in Dawn of War 1. Yeah, it is a cool model. I like the simplicity of it in a lot of ways. Like the pose is a little bit much for me, and I wish they would kind of calm down on the fucking super ninja poses. I kind of miss the simplicity of like the old school poses that were like a little bit more, I guess, static. I know a lot of people like. I don't like the action poses too much. It feels like, the reason I don't like the action poses, like it feels like it's telling me what my model's doing, and I don't like that. You don't know what my model's doing. I know what my model's doing. Makes my immersion, you know? A lot of cleanup on this model though. Whoa. Oh. Anything that you want, Pegu, from the new Demon Book? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Pegao. I don't know. I'm just gonna call you Peg. Pegu. Pegao. I'm in school where I have to like learn people's names. I'm definitely gonna have to go in with like a really fine brush here and kind of like redo a lot of this shading. Oh, get in there. I went a little too dark on some spots. It's okay. Now it's being not conducive to my painting of this model. Feels like the paint's going on like weird. Really thin. Yeah, I agree. Boss booster. The thing is, like, I guess I don't like the implication that like my model is doing something I don't want it. I don't know if that sounds stupid, but like, makes my immersion. My immersion is the most important. I think I need to give this model a little bit of a break. Kind of not feeling good about some parts of it. I think what I'm gonna do is finish going and base coat the blue for the blue areas. Yeah, exactly, man. You don't really get that option anymore. Everything has to be like doing fucking 17 karate poses. I'm doing this now because it's like super finicky to get in there. Thankfully, that part is going to be quite dark, so which where's your other ear? Okay, so I think we're gonna leave it there for today, guys. I'm gonna spend some time on it just to clean it up a bit. I think off stream because it's really finicky, and I need to do this to get really close, and it's not gonna make good for good. One of the problems with painting on stream is like I think I mentioned is kind of like this weird technique, but like if I was normally gonna paint it, I'd paint it like this, holding it up, so it's good for your back, but also like I'm gonna be way more precise. But I can't really paint on stream like that. I don't think. Could I? Let's see, could I paint like that? That'd be helpful. It'd be like, I guess I could technically paint like that. That'd be really, I think that'd be like really hard. I have to like make lots of adjustments. So I will post some work in progress photos. Next week I think we're gonna have Richard Hughes on from Dingo. He's going to be doing some he's basically the behind the scenes guy that runs the FLG streams. So we're going to having on episode of Politics and Plastic next week, chatting kind of the streaming tech and kind of the challenges with streaming, and kind of, you know, everyone likes to complain, but like what's actually really going on. And then we'll probably do an episode of Best Overall Show next week as well, if I can get David to commit to a day, but he's been a bit aloof. Well, other than that, thanks for all the feedback and hanging out, guys. I'll be back, as I said, tomorrow. Oh yeah, so tomorrow, Elden Ring drops at around 5 o'clock. But I'm raiding, sadly, with my my Final Fantasy guild from 6 to 9. Oh no, from 6 to 9 Pacific. I'm raiding, so I will probably try to maybe jump on stream on Friday all day. And if you guys are into Elden Ring, I'd love for you guys to join. Other than that, thanks everyone for tuning in. Twitch audience, YouTube audience, you guys have been great, and I will talk to you guys next week. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff if you haven't. Really helps with the channel, makes me feel slightly less inadequate, and